What's going down with it, y'all? Kid DC Wrestling back once again. AEW's Double or Nothing. Just got done watching the show, and man, this was a damn good show, man. I gotta give it. You know, I know we say what we say about AEW, how long their shows can be, and how this and that, but I'm telling you, AEW, they. I've always said their pay-per-views are always a must-watch, and tonight, especially with tonight being the sixth anniversary since the first AEW Double or Nothing show. This definitely felt like an anniversary gift from AEW to all of us, and to watch the first AEW show to seeing what AEW's became now has been very, very cool to watch. But I ain't gonna waste any time. I'm gonna get right into it. Hangman Page has won the Owen Hart Foundation Cup tournament, defeating Will Ospreay in the finals, which means that in Texas, it will be Hangman Page, it will be Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. We'll get to it when we get to it, but as far as tonight goes, this match was crazy good. For a minute, I didn't even think Hangman and Ospreay. I was wondering how they were gonna give us some sort of a banger, considering the Anarchy in the Arena match that took place, but this was a damn good main event. Very good main event. Well deserved two main event. And honestly, I'm not mad that Hangman won. I said in the previews that, you know, you can make the case for Ospreay winning. You can make the case for Hangman winning. But Hangman, with this story, again, this redemption arc, trying to find himself again, trying to bring back the old Hangman of old, definitely goes on to possibly beat Jon Moxley and once again complete the redemption arc and win once again the world title. But let's see what happens. But this was a damn good main event with him and Ospreay, and definitely probably one of the best AEW matches of the year. The trios match with the Don Callis family and the Paragon was definitely one of those matches that you can honestly skip. It was no disrespect to any of those competitors that competed in the match, but truth be told, after what we saw in that Anarchy in the Arena, there was no way that we were coming into this match going to go like, oh yeah, this is a must watch. You could honestly put the match on Dynamite. You could have put the match on Collision, if I'm being honest. But it needed to be there simply because it was a cool down before the main event. So there's really nothing more I can really say about that. As we saw Tanahashi, who's on his final run, making a surprise appearance tonight. I'm sure he will somewhat be involved in the Forbidden Door UK show when they go over to the UK in August. But Anarchy in the Arena, man, there's so much I could say about this match, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna keep my comments very short and sweet. And this was probably the best Anarchy in the Arena since they've been doing it. So many spots in this match, dude. Oh my gosh. They had me dying laughing at the beginning of it. If you saw, they had the Young Bucks come out acting, with them being the forefathers and the music playing, which kind of had me laughing for a minute. I couldn't take the match seriously during the opening, but then they had when Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. You just can't go wrong with that, and I was going crazy over that, man. Like, it was crazy to see that. But man, this is probably outside the main event. This is probably match of the night. One of the, if not the best match of the night, man. Like, this match was fire. Easily one of, if not the best match that AEW has put on this year, man. So everybody in this match just contributed and played a role, and it was dope, and it was good. It was great. Like, it was great shit. It was great shit. Excuse my language. Toni Storm retained her AEW Women's World Championship against Marina Shakira. It was a solid match. Toni Storm and Mina, kissing at the end. All the horny men out there were getting excited off of that. The only difference between this kiss and the last kiss they shared was, there was no Mariah May, but I did like the respect that Mina and Toni obviously showed between each other, and it was a solid match. overall for me. You had Okada and Speedball Mike Bailey. Y'all know, if you followed the channel, I've always been a fan of Speedball Mike Bailey. I've always sung his praises, and tonight I shall do the same. This match was very good. Honestly, I honestly thought there was a minute where Mike Bailey was actually going to win, but obviously Okada pulled on the stops. That shooting star press into the drop kick into the Rainmaker was a crazy way to end the match. But Speedball, even though he didn't win, I think he definitely won the hearts of a lot of AEW fans tonight, if he hasn't already. But one of the best matches to take place on this show. And then the Hurt Syndicate and the Sons of Texas. I was surprised how good this match was, surprisingly enough. Heading into it, I was like, this is going to be a quick one and done, really nothing special, but it was not a bad match whatsoever. You know, the Hurt Syndicate winning the match, obviously MJF getting involved in it. It seemed like Bobby Lashley has finally accepted MJF into the group, unless I may be wrong, but Hurt Syndicate won. Right call was definitely made. And then Ricochet and Mark Briscoe, I felt like was another match that I felt like surprised me because I wasn't really expecting it to be that good, but it was good. This dude Mark Briscoe, who came back for Anarchy in the arena and helped, Kenny and his team win. Dude was bleeding buckets, and it was Ricochet. Ricochet definitely got the win. Definitely helps Ricochet. It helps makes Ricochet keep his momentum going. So there's really no more I can really say about that. But very good match between Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. FTR, Daniel Garcia, and Nigel McGuinness. This is a very good match. However, a little nitpick. I know, nitpick. I feel like the end of the match should have just been FTR hitting them two pile drivers on Daniel Garcia, and that would have been it. But outside of all that, the ending, FTR winning the match, I felt like was the right call. FTR needs all the momentum they can get. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad with FTR being the next tag team champions. I know you go from a heel tag team to another heel tag team, but hey, FTR, this heel run was definitely needed. Yeah, it definitely puts FTR back in one of the top tag teams in AEW for sure. And then the opener, Mercedes Moné, Jamie Hayter. Very good match. Very good match. I said in my previews last week that it wouldn't have really mattered uh, between Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, but the right call was made with Mercedes Moné because, again, what people got to remember, AEW, they're setting up All in Texas to be their biggest show of the year. Like, this is their WrestleMania. You showcase quite possibly at this show the biggest AEW women's match you can put together. The biggest AEW women's match up to this point, Mercedes Moné versus timeless Toni Storm. It's best for business, and it's definitely going to be one of the biggest, if not it's definitely going to be one of the biggest matches on the show. I've seen people already comment that it should main event the show. And how ironic that this match is taking place, less than 24 hours before the All Evolutions, All Women's pay-per-view for the second time. So, but very good pay-per-view. My hat's off to everybody. And this was a damn good show. Probably the best AEW show of the year. Just all around great stuff, man. Great shit.